Brad had supported Donald Trump in 2024, in part because Trump promised to change all that by becoming the most pro-life farmer president you'd ever seen. Instead, new tariffs cut into Brad's potential export market, and the emerging war in Iran had sent gas and fertilizer prices surging by as much as 70%. He was losing thousands of dollars each month and falling behind on his feed bill until he made the call he'd been dreading his whole career. He dialed up an auction house to arrange the Watson's family final dairy sale last month. Thoughts and prayers, Brad? I don't care. Farm bankruptcies across the country have risen by 46% in 2025 and 70% in 2026, as nearly as a third of the world's fertilizer exports were impacted by conflicts in the Strait of Hormuz. Wow. I hope you have the day you voted for, Brad. How's it feel, right? See, Brad, you're the reason that we're here as a country. You're the reason that we're not a great country. I'm going to guess because you live in the Bible Belt, you actually don't follow anything in the Bible unless it has to do with abortion and being gay, right? You went to the voting booth and voted for a rapist, a felon. You ignored officers that were beaten and took their own lives after January 6th. You ignored the women that Trump sexually assaulted. You ignored the victims of Epstein Island that he's protecting. They're eating the dogs and cats. Shithole countries. They're poisoning the blood of America. You ignored the racism, the misogyny, insulting women, calling them fat and ugly. And you said, let me quote it right here, he promised to be the most pro-farmer president you'd ever seen. And ironically, in 2017, Donald Trump started a trade war with China. And you and your other white trash farmers went out there and said, oh, socialism's evil. I can't vote for the Democrats because it's evil. But please, government, give me $25 billion to bail us out, even though you caused this. And then you voted for him in 20, and then you voted for him in 24 again. The man with 3 failed marriages. How pathetic do you have to be to cheat on every single wife and have 3 failed marriages? Who added $8.2 trillion to the debt, who has 6 bankruptcies, 2 bankrupted casinos. And you went out there and goes, well, he told me he's going to be the most pro-farmer guy, so I'm just going to take him at his word because I'm a dumbass and he's a white man. So, let's just be real, Brad. You were never going to vote for the black woman. And you're finding out that racism has a cost. It's expensive, isn't it, Brad? How's it feel? How's it feel? In the last election, I'm a Christian, Brad. I actually care about other people, unlike you. You're a selfish prick. I voted for universal health care. I cared about the victims of school shootings. I voted for gun reform. I voted to raise minimum wage. I voted to tax rich people. I voted to get people out of student debt. I voted to help small businesses, knowing that my taxes would go up. You know why, Brad? Maybe you'll learn something here if you can get out of your bigotry and your misogyny for like 2 seconds. Because I loved my neighbor as thyself. But people like you get stuck in your right-wing echo chambers. And every 4 years, you ask yourselves this question, which is the biggest con in the history of politics. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Ronald Reagan, who said that trickle-down economics works. That's working out really great. He was such a genius, right? Yeah, not. Because you only vote for yourself, Brad. That's the problem.
So, your boy Trump had put tariffs on China. And because he put tariffs on China, China's way to retaliate and say, you know what? And $12 billion I was spending a year in America buying all them soybeans from y'all. Yeah, I'm good. I'm going to go somewhere else. So they end up going to Brazil and getting soybeans over there from them, right? So in America, they're not getting a dime from China in the area of soybeans. So your boy Trump also found out that they're also getting soybeans from Argentina. Now he's trying to press Argentina to stop selling soybeans to China because they're going around America and not getting them from America. Why should they? I mean, you put them in the tariff war. I mean, they got to respond somehow, right? Well, you got this white farmer. This white farmer is not blaming who you think he should blame. Boy, this is a very, very delusional man. This particular white farmer, very delusional. Why are you blaming China? China didn't start a trade war with us. It was Trump starting trade wars with them.
We don't have any way to pass those additional costs on. and we're already looking at very small profits per acre on crops.
I've never seen prices jump to levels like they are now as fast as they've jumped.
The impact is there right now. Everybody is feeling the pain. Everybody is suffering from the current tariff war that's happening right now, not only between China and the United States, but between the United States and its other close allies or counterparts right now. There's a lot happening right now. I mean, the major thing being the Iran war right now, farmers in the United States can't get fertilizer, they can't sell their soybeans. Trump, the orange man, is out there. He's visiting Chinese counterparts in South America, trying to prevent them from doing business close to the United States and forcing their hand to accept the current trade agreement or trade deals between the United States and China right now. I mean, it is a whole broad topic, and guess what? He talked about this before he got into office. So there is actually nobody who can sit down and say he didn't talk about this, he didn't make these promises, and he is now delivering on something he didn't make. He is delivering on the exact promises he is making right now. So a lot of farmers are coming out there talking online on social media, talking about the bailout that Trump has given to them to help them in production, to help keep their farms running. But how long is it going to last? How much money is he going to keep giving the farmers right now in the United States? I mean, he literally gave Argentina, I think it was about $12 billion to stop trade with China in order for them not to sell soybeans to China. Soybeans is one of the most, is used in feeding pigs in China. So Royal China uses these soybeans in feeding the livestock, and they are trying to cut the production of soybeans. But guess what? These guys are keep constantly changing their market every day. Today, I think now they are doing business with Brazil and in Africa. So the market has shifted from America and other countries, some countries in South America. So that is currently what is happening right now. And the farmers are out there crying about it. And guess what? This is actually what you voted for. So in this video, we will talk more about the farmers right now, and the whole situation right now. And we are also going to go in depth on why we feel like this is a long-term something, and it's not going to resolve itself anytime soon. I'll be back shortly so we can discuss more details.
Regarding all these farmers that are now crying about possibly losing their farms because they voted for Trump, this is why you absolutely should not feel bad for any of these farmers that voted for Trump. Now, the ones that didn't vote, yes, feel sorry for them, go support them, do whatever you need to do. But the ones that voted for Trump, do not feel sorry for them, and let me tell you why. I am a builder, and I've been building shit in Oklahoma City going on like 20 years now, and farmers are not stupid. If you have the ability to manage a farm and understand the weather, the climate, your machinery, the chemistry that goes into your crops, you are not a stupid person. You're just not. And especially when you come from generational farming, you have the ability to look ahead and predict what you need to survive. And so when you have two candidates where you have Kamala Harris on one side giving you a whole fucking list of shit that she's going to do for you and make your life better, and then you have Trump on the other side who can't even come out with a normal sounding sentence, and you still vote for that guy, and you are a farmer, you are either racist or sexist or both. And they're only crying now because now they are being treated exactly how they voted for other people to be treated. Got that? They are being treated how they voted for other minorities, people of color, everybody else, poor people, sick people. That's how they voted for other people to be treated. And now they're the ones being treated that way by losing their livelihood, their homes, their income, their farms. So do not feel sorry for them. This is exactly what they had coming. Quick follow-up as to why exactly would Trump be doing this to farmers anyways? And I'm guessing 99% chance it's because he wants to bankrupt farms so his corporate buddies can come in and do a land grab. Basically what you have been seeing the last few years, major companies buying up a bunch of rental houses and jacking up the price of rents, and it's all going to corporations. It's probably something similar to let these farms go to foreclosure and his corporate buddies be able to come in, swoop them up, and now you've got bigger companies involved in more of our day-to-day food.
I got to farm with my dad every day. It's a way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. And it's at risk. And it shouldn't be.
The impact of Trump's tariffs is being felt in the heartland.
Soybean farmers here are now suffering economically like they haven't in decades.
Right now we are harvesting soybeans in Marengo, Illinois. My family has been farming since 1846. I'm the 5th generation. We're a grain operation. We grow corn, soybeans. I am a product of the pioneers. It's history. You don't let that go. One of the best memories that I had was just my dad teaching me how to drive a tractor. I got to farm with my dad every day. It was pretty cool. How many people could do that? It's a way of life. It's a wonderful way of life. And it's at risk. And it shouldn't be. It's total bullshit. Human lives are at stake. It's stupid. The whole thing is stupid.
I'm very proud of him. He's done a great job. He's kind. He's very caring. He cares about other people. I didn't really want him to be a farmer. When my husband got sick, he asked if he could take over the farm. He said, "Mom, give me 3 years. Just give me 3 years." So that's what we did, and it's turned into 16 years.
Harvest is usually the best time of the year. It's literally the fruits of your labor. This is the time where we as farmers get to celebrate all of our hard work and that we get paid for our year's worth of work. And unfortunately, this one has a real bitter taste to it because the money is being spent right now in Argentina and being given to billionaires. Farming is hard enough as it is, dealing with Mother Nature, but this year especially is very challenging because of the tariffs that have been put upon us. Our cost of production has increased and our markets have dropped dramatically. And this is really putting a major strain on all farmers right now. If anybody who's not a farmer and they say, well, what do I care about what's happening with farmers? What does that matter? Well, in Illinois, 20% of all jobs revolve around agriculture. And when farmers have money, we spend it, and we spend it on really big high-ticket items like combines or tractors, all of whom are made in major Rust Belt areas. And those are really high-paying, good jobs, and that trickles down to the waitresses who get better tips, to our schools because people have more income, the schools get better funded. And right now, we're just in a major holding pattern because we have no income. The American people are hurting right now. The farmers are hurting right now. There is absolutely no reason for this.
Our grain prices are down. We have tariffs. We have a bumper crop. We don't have people to sell it to. China hasn't bought one of our beans. We don't have those markets anymore because of the tariffs.
I'm looking at the commodity prices, where they're at, which is how I get paid. I'm having a real difficult time trying to give a positive outlook for 2026. When President Obama was in office, we had a wonderful jolt of energy because we had an administration that said, we're going to have advanced biofuels power our country. And then Trump got in there and decided to have his trade wars again and everything else and to roll back all those environmental protections, and the ag economy started to tank. Joe Biden gets in there again. Hey, we're going to have advanced biofuels. We're going to have airline fuel that comes from corn-based ethanol. What happened? Prices went up again, up to an all-time high, right where they were. Trump gets back in there again. We're going to have a trade war, and boom, prices are tanking again.
President Trump is set to be considering a bailout of at least $10 billion for farmers. That may be too little too late.
We don't want a bailout. We want a market. Bailouts are band-aids. We aren't even made whole off of this. That's money that should be going towards senior citizens. That's money that should be going for the Affordable Care Act. That's money that should just be going to regular tax cuts for normal Americans and not billionaires. What he is doing is destroying our markets. And when those markets disappear, we're not going to get them back. We need to have a new policy. We need to have an ag policy that works for farmers again. And we know what works. We have to be able to make a living doing this. The years that we do the best are when our products are in demand. And our products, overwhelmingly for the history of this country, are in demand when we have a strong export market. And we have to keep those markets alive. We have to do that. And this administration isn't doing that.
All of us farmers have officially fucked around, and we have officially found the fuck out now, guys. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. I'm on the verge of tears. Overnight, all of my help fled. My help, out of fear for their safety, their lives, they fled. And now I am left out here standing in my unharvested carrot field. It is January, and I'm in Kansas, and this is when carrot harvest goes. In Kansas, this field should be full of workers, but all my workers left. And who the do you think is to blame for that? Every single one of them left. Now I have to by myself try to fill that truck with a load of carrots in one day, and I can't do that, guys. I have to get these carrots to market by next week, or my contract is terminated. This is $936,000 worth of carrots right here, and I can't pick them by myself. If they're unharvested, I will get kicked out of that contract, and I will get sued by the Planters Loves Carrots company.
So a lot of farmers right now are filing for bankruptcy right now, and the big donors in Washington DC right now are the ones cutting the big checks for the farmers filing for bankruptcy right now. Why? Because they have produce, they have a market they are supposed to keep up to. These farmers have organizations signed to, that take this farm produce and export. So when you don't have farm produce, you take a loan to run a farm, and then at the end of the day, you can't sell this produce in order to meet up with these loans, and it is a long-term something. That is where it becomes very, very problematic right now. So there is short supply in fertilizers right now because of what is happening in Iran right now. You can't sell soybeans. The price of seeds, especially corn, has risen right now. The cost of running the tractors right now, because of what increase in gas prices, have also increased right now. So it is a whole lot, and the farmers are going through a lot right now. And guess what? This is exactly what they voted for. They voted for mass deportations. They voted for increase in tariffs in order to get a stronger hand in trade across the world right now. And the farmers are saying, no, we don't want this. This is exactly what we voted for, but we didn't really know that this is how it was going to affect us. They are trying to say, they are trying to backtrack and say, they are trying to tell this administration that they really, really don't want this right now, that they can't afford it. I mean, a lot of farmers right now are filing for bankruptcy. A lot of family-owned businesses are being lost right now. This is generations of farms. This is generations of farms passed down from father to son, which is being taken by this administration. Why? Because the farmers decided to vote for exactly what's happening right now. I believe that most of these guys are very, very intelligent, and they actually saw. You need to watch videos about the trade war, the tariffs, and everything, and who is paying the tariffs, so you understand. Like, some of them are really, really, really delusional. Like, most Americans really don't understand how trade works, how tariffs work, who pays the taxes, who pays the tax on importation, who pays the tax on exportation. So it is really, really a dire situation right now. And guess what? Most of these farmers, the far-right farmers out there, thought that when mass deportation starts in America, that basically the aliens that they call are going to be sent out of the country, and most of the Black Americans are going to start taking the jobs and working in their farms. I mean, how delusional can you be for that to happen in 2026? For you to think that black people will stop, will not think about what it did to them 400 years ago. I mean, imagine the trauma. I mean, there are still people whose great grandfathers are still there that still talk about what is happening right now. So you think that because the Latinos and other minorities are being sent out of America, that the black folks are going to go back and start working the farms so you can reap from the black man again. I mean, like, what are they really thinking right now? But guess what? You can't even afford to pay the farmers, on the workers on the farms right now because what? All the tariffs. Because you can't sell your products again. I mean, the products, the tomatoes and everything is just getting rotten in the farms right now, and the farmers are really crying. A lot of them are going through a lot right now. And guess what? FAFO, they really found out what they asked for. That is currently what is happening right now with the farmers, and a lot of people out there are really making videos. I mean, a lot of white folks and black folks are making videos, and they are trying to say they aren't sorry about what's happening right now. They are not gathering any sympathy for the farmers right now in America. It is a dire situation right now, and from the look of things, the Iran war won't end anytime soon, because just look at what happened in Kuwait. I think it was yesterday, and um, the U.S. administration doesn't want to back down on the current trajectory that it is taking, the current approach that it is taking to handle this conflict. So it shows that this conflict is going to take a longer period of time. I think until the Trump administration is out, perhaps, I think so. That is going, even at that, it is going to have a long-term impact on the US economy and on the farming industry right now in America. So that is currently what is happening right now. It is really crazy. I mean, like, our dear friend Dr. Paul Lance really talked about it in the first video, and he shed more light on the whole farmer situation, and I believe that's a good piece for everybody to understand what is really happening right now. They have basically been lied to. They were not lied to. Let me not say they were lied to. These guys were not lied to. They were told the truth, but they didn't understand the whole truth and how it was going to play out. They thought it was just going to play out smoothly. The US was just going to come out with an iron fist, and everybody was just going to bow and back down. But guess what? The war is evolving. A lot of things are happening right now. There are a lot of nations who are developing technologies and becoming more stronger. So strategy has to change. The way you deal with these countries have to change. I think a lot of things where a lot of countries like China, where China and Russia and other countries were underestimated. Now they are finding out exactly what it is, what they voted for. So leave your thoughts in the comments section below, like and subscribe. Also turn on the notification bell so that each time I release a new video, you will be the first person to watch the video. See you.